All right. Good morning, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. So let's start by settling the body. Stable, comfortable, upright position, serviceable for meditation. So we keep our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are slightly open or gently closed. We mainly try to avoid slouching or leaning, thinking about maintaining an unbroken column of light between the top of the back of the head and the tailbone. Not allowing it to bend. We also try to avoid any unnecessary tension in the body. So scan through and relax into the posture, looking for places of any tension and letting it go, letting the body hang on itself. And begin to pull away from attending to whatever's happening in your environment, allowing those sights or sounds to be as they are. Giving yourself the instruction to attend only to the physical sensation of the air passing into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything that isn't that sensation has arisen in the mind, and letting it go and coming back without judgment or frustration. and generate a broad altruistic motivation for your time, seeing your time as a way to tap into your potential and wanting to do that to be of benefit to others. Thinking of creating new, deeper familiarities with positive mental states and reducing your familiarity and tendency to engage in negative mental states and harmful actions as your contribution to benefiting others, making the world a better place. And similar to the last couple of contemplations, we will investigate the energy of attachment in the mind and how it operates in our lives. Attachment is a habit to observe objects that we think of as pleasant or beneficial, and then only observe the aspects of the object that have those pleasant or beneficial tendencies or characteristics, and feel as though one's own happiness is dependent upon being in contact with this object. So, in a way, it's giving away our own power, thinking that contact with external objects that have some useful characteristic is the only or best method to be happy. So we can think that when this tendency is arising in the mind, we engage in various actions to obtain contact or remain in contact with these objects. And often that moment of contact triggers a pleasant feeling in the mind. And then we crave, after that pleasant feeling, another object of attachment comes along, and again, we engage in actions to contact it. Whenever we're unsuccessful, we feel as though a sense of disappointment is inevitable. Try to think in the past week or month, can you identify how this tendency has been operating? This kind of never ending cycle of dissatisfaction and craving. And reflect on this activity, this busyness. Does it seem exhausting, never ending? Can we observe an agitating quality to it? And think of the results that it brings. Can we really say that contacting objects of attachment is genuine happiness? we think of these objects of attachment, do they come with a roller coaster of ups and downs? Do we think that that's all that's possible? If we look carefully, can we observe that the mind of craving and attachment is disturbed, unpeaceful, and that these moments of sensory pleasure are fleeting and often involve hardship, difficulty, if we think about spending a day at an amusement park or the beach, we often ignore the long lines, the heat, the noise, because there's a few minutes here and there where we would say we had fun. So, how selective, how untrustworthy is our memory of these events? Try to recognize that although we've assented to the idea that craving and attachment brings happiness, it's inherently unsatisfying. It gives rise to disappointment, agitation, and even conflict. Overcoming this tendency, then, turning inward rather than outward, recognizing that cultivating constructive states of mind is a much more stable and reliable method for genuine, consistent peace and satisfaction. So try to again reflect and see if you believe that that's true, and what changes you might need to make to be more in alignment with that. Try to make a determination to see objects of attachment more clearly in their totality, and to recognize the energy of attachment and craving in the mind as a cause of suffering rather than happiness. And try to rest your mind in that sense of determination. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And then we'll meditate. Sorry, then we'll dedicate. It's early. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that having contemplated in this way, you've actualized your motivation. That you offer that positive energy in the mind for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking may it pacify all conflict, all poverty, all disease, natural disasters, any harmful condition in the world. May it ripen the minds of sentient beings so that they can achieve the realizations of the path up to and including a state of full enlightenment. May that state ripen in my own mind to provide me the ability to benefit sentient beings perfectly without mistake. May it pacify any obstacles facing the Guru's long life. May it cause myself and all other sentient beings to come under the care and the guidance of enlightened beings in this moment so that we may be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.